Hello guys, this is Medicos video for you. Topic is bronchial asthma. Definition of bronchial asthma. A disease characterized by an increased responsiveness of the airways to virus stimuli result in the airway obstruction that is reversibly either spontaneous or a result of treatment. There are two types of asthma. There is acute asthma, bronchial asthma, chronic asthma. Acute asthma. Presence of active symptoms from airway obstruction and or inflammation. Chronic asthma. Absence of extended period free of symptoms without treatment. Causes of asthma. It isn't clear why some people get asthma and others don't, but it's probably due to combination of environmental and genital factors. Asthma triggers are exposure to virus irritants such as allergens. Airborne allergens are pollen, animal dander, cockroaches and dust mites. Respiratory infection such as common cold. Physical activity. Exercise induced asthma. Cold air. Air pollutants and irritants such as smoke. Certain medications includes beta blockers, aspirin, ibuprofen, naproxen, etc. Strong emotional and stress. Sulfates and preservatives added to some types of foods. Gastroesophageal reflux disease. Risk factors. The number of factors are thought to be increase the chances of developing asthma. This includes having a blood relative such as parents or siblings with asthma, having other allergic conditions such as atopic dermatitis or allergic rhinitis, being overweight, being a smoker, exposure to secondhand smoke, exposure to extend fumes or other type of pollutions, exposure to occupational triggers such as chemicals using in forming, hairdressing and manufactures. Pathophysiology. Based on etiology, there are three types: extrinsic, intrinsic and mixed. First we see the extrinsic or atopic allergic asthma. Extrinsic, its most common type. Increasing level of IgG in the serum and positive skin test with specific offending inhaled antigen representing mediated by type 1 hypersensitivity reaction. First we see, as the pollen or antigens are exposed to the body, it is first accepted by antigen presenting cells. Antigen presenting cells stimulates the T helper cells, which release interleukin 4 and interleukin 5, which stimulates the B cells. The B cells secretes the IgE antibodies, which are attached to the mast cells to the IgE receptors of the mast cells, thus causing degranulation of the mast cells, releasing the inflammatory mediators and histamine, etc. This extrinsic asthma includes active immediate response and late phase reactions. First we see the active immediate response. Unmasked cell degradation, release of mediators such as histamine, leukotriene, prostaglandins, pallid activating factor and chemotactic factors of eosinophils and neutrophils, which causes bronchial constriction, edema, mucus hypersecretion and accumulation of the eosinophils and neutrophils. Whereas in late phase follows the acute phase, it is responsible for the prolonged manifestation of asthma. Excessive mobilization of the blood leukocytes that include basophil beside eosinophils and neutrophils result of mediators. In addition, inflammatory injury is caused by neutrophils and the major base proteins MBP of the eosinophil. Let's see the intrinsic idiosynergetic non-atopic asthma. Negative personal or family history of allergy. There is no recognition allergies, but 10% of hypersensitivity to the drugs, most notably to small dose of aspirin. Let's see the aspirin sensitive asthma. As aspirin inhibits the COX, which are stimulate release of prostaglandin E2, which stabilize effect of mast cell and eosinophil. This prostaglandin E2 interface releases the 5-lipooxygenase, which interfaces the arachidonic acid production to 5-HPETE, 5-hydroperoxy icosanostatic acid, and leukotriene A4, leukotriene C4, leukotriene D4 and leukotriene E4, thus causing inflammation. Next is exercise and emotional stress. It is asthma. Exercise-induced asthma. It is one of type of asthma which is caused by exercise or where exercise is a trigger causing asthma. Next is menstrual associated asthma. Premenstrual reduction in PEFR of 35 to 80%. Estradiol inhibit eosinophil degradation and suppress LD activity. Progesterone have bronchodilators and anti-inflammatory activity. Let's see the symptoms. Symptoms of asthma are frequent coughing, shortness of breath, keeping tired or feeling tired, wheezing, common cold, allergies, trouble with sleeping, chest pain. Diagnosis. First we see the personal and medical history, which includes current physical problems, shortness of breath, wheezing, coughing, tightness in chest. It also includes previous medical conditions. Physical examination include examining ears, eyes, nose, throat, skin, chest and lungs. This also includes X-ray examination. Lung functional test. Spirometry. The spirometry measures the amount of air patient able to breathe in and out and its rate of flow. Patient will keep deep breath and then exhale forcefully. Peak airflow. This test uses to peak flow meter. It's small handheld device that patient breathe into the measure the rate at which patient can force out of lungs. During the test, patient breathe in as deeply and patient can and blow in the device hard as possible. Peak flow meter is the best in diagnostic in asthmatic conditions. Trigger tests are also used if all the tests are normal. Asthmatic complications includes signs and symptoms that interfere with sleep, work or recreation, sick days for work, permanent narrowing, emergency room visits and hospitalization. Side effects. Proper treatment make big difference. Treatment. Prevention and long-term control are key in stopping asthma attack before they start. Treatment usually involves learning to recognize your treatment trigger, taking steps to avoid them. Quick relief inhalers. Type of long-term control medications includes inhaled corticosteroids. Example, fluticasone, budesonide. This corticosteroid medication have relatively low risk of side effects and are generally safe for long-term use. Leukotriene modifiers. The oral medication includes motoculazide, jafilucazide. In rare cases, this medication have been linked to psychological reactions such as agitations, aggregations, hallucinations. Long-acting beta agonist. These inhaled medications, which includes salmeterol, formoterol, opens the airways. Some research shows that they may increase the risk of severe asthmatic attack, so it has to be taken only in combination with inhaled corticosteroids. Combination inhalers. The medications such as fluticasone, salmeterol, or formoterol, pumitasone, etc. Thiophyllin. Thiophyllin is daily pill that helps to keep the airways open. Types of quick relief medication includes short-acting beta agonist. This includes quick relief bronchodilators act with the minutes to rapid ease symptoms during the asthma attack. This includes albuterol, levoalbuterol. Short-acting beta agonist can be taken used as a portable handheld inhaler or nebulizer, a machine that converts asthma medication to fine mist, so that they can be inhaled through a face mask or mouthpiece. Ipotropium. Like other bronchodilators, ipotropium act quickly to immediately relax your airways. Make it easier to breathe. Ipotropium is most used for emphysema and chronic bronchitis, but it is sometimes used to treat asthmatic attack. Allergic medications may help if your asthma is triggered or worsened by allergies, that includes allergy shots. Over time, allergy shots gradually reduce immune system reaction to specific allergens. Omalizumab. The medication given as a injection every 2 to 4 weeks, especially for people who have allergies and severe asthma. I hope this video helps you. Please like, share and subscribe.